Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Early Eating Sports Buffet with the Ginch. I am said Ginch. I did not play my regular intro. I was going to try and do some sports, but in lieu of what happened today with Charlie Kirk being assassinated, as well as the shootings in Colorado, I figured sports can take a back seat for a night. I normally don't like talking about politics on my sports shows, but again, in lieu of what happened today, I'm pissed and I'm aggravated. And quite frankly, as it stands today, this country is fucked. What does it accomplish? What does killing somebody accomplish? Because you didn't like what they had to say? Because you didn't agree with them? Whether you're left, right, whether you're conservative, whether you're a non-conservative, who gives a shit? Yeah, and I'm going to curse on this show because quite frankly, I don't fucking care. It's my show. It's on the internet. But again, sports tonight's going to take a back seat. I don't know how long this is going to run. I've been thinking about this ever since this went down. But again, sports for tonight will take a back seat. What did it accomplish today? What was the motive? What you accomplished was you left somebody a widow and two kids that are not going to grow up with their father, their biological father. So congratulations. It's asinine. It's stupid. It accomplishes nothing. You terrorized people there and it accomplishes nothing. And my father used to say, the sun's still going to rise in the west, or rise in the east, and it's going to set in the west. And the world's going to continue to turn round and round. I'm not going to live in fear. But anybody who says it's not in their back of their mind, I mean, I live here in southeastern Pennsylvania. I get up for work at 5 a.m. I stop off at Wawa, have my coffee. Who's to say I don't walk into Wawa one day and someone's having a bad day or night? But I'm still not going to live in fear. But again, what does it accomplish? It accomplishes nothing. You politically assassinate somebody, you kill somebody in a school shooting. What does it do? It does nothing. Nothing. And now somebody that sees this, there's going to be copycats. There will be copycats. Tomorrow's September 11th. Tomorrow's 9/11. What do you think is going to happen on 9/11? I hope and pray that it doesn't. But you have those fanatics out there that are going to look at this and say, well, if this person can do it, I can do it too. Again, whether you're left, right, conservative, non-conservative, independent, Republican, Democrat, doesn't matter. In the end, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to finger point. That's not what my game's about. I don't finger point. But if the shit show in Washington, you stop pointing fingers and blaming everybody from the left or from the right, how about meeting in the middle? How about meeting in the middle for a change? The divisiveness in this country is not something we've seen since the 60s and the 70s. That's where we're headed. We're headed back in time. And for what? For what? And please stop bringing God into the equation. God isn't doing any of this shit. We're doing it to ourselves. People are doing it to themselves. God has nothing to do with it. So keep God or whatever your religious beliefs out of it. God didn't tell the shooter, hey, go shoot Charlie Kirk today and kill him. And what's gun control going to do? People keep talking about gun control. What's if you can't get a gun? If you cannot get a gun legally, for whatever reason, people have ways to get a gun, legal or illegal. Just like drugs. What do addicts do? Addicts find ways to get what they need. They'll do whatever they can to get their hands on the next fix. I am continuing to watch the coverage of this. Supposedly they have a suspect in custody, person of interest. When's it going to stop? Stricter gun laws? I don't know. For me, the crux of the issue is the psyche and the mental health of this nation. You got to get to the root of the source. Guns isn't the root of the source. There are people in this country who feel left out. They feel alone. They feel like they don't belong. And what does it lead to? Nobody deserves that. Whether you agree with Charlie Kirk or whether you didn't agree with him. This should not happen. Nobody deserves that. Nobody. Unless Hitler himself comes back. Or Napoleon or Genghis Khan. Nobody deserves it. Anybody getting shot for whatever reason. Not like this. Not politically. Not at any point. People stabbing people on buses and shit. People getting attacked. Why? We, the people, have a say. Talk to your representative. Send an email to your representative, to your senator, to your congressman that you've had enough of this shit. And I always say at the end of the show, practice compassion, practice empathy. Hug somebody today. Tell somebody you love them. And if you see somebody struggling for whatever reason, inquire and ask questions. You might be preventing something. But lawmakers and stuff, they don't want to get down to the nitty gritty of stuff about mental illness and shit. It's much easier to talk about guns because guns killed this person or guns killed. Why? Well, I heard voices in my head where people want to become a martyr, like John Hinckley. Well, I'm in love with Jodie Foster. I want to impress her, so I'll attempt to assassinate Ronald Reagan. It just doesn't make any sense anymore. I've had it. People have had it. There's enough of this shit. People will be afraid to send their kids to school. Again, you go to a soccer game or a football game, who knows? Again, not going to live in fear. But again, all this fucking accomplished was the fact that you left a wife as a widow and 2 kids that are going to grow up without their biological father. And if they were there to witness that, scarred for the rest of their life. Scarred for the rest of their life. They'll never be the same. If they didn't see it, they still won't be the same. Questions, comments, criticisms are all welcome. You can send something in the comment section. I'll try to answer it. I'll throw it up there. But there needs to be a real, I'm talking a real talk across the country about the shit that's going down in the inner workings of this country. Again, if you want to sit down and have a civil debate about issues, that would be fantastic. None of this shit pointing fingers all the time. Well, the left did this and the right did this and the right does it. Fuck that. I'm tired of hearing that bullshit. I don't keep up with all the issues, but I watch, I listen. But when you see shit like this, people are afraid to go to work. People are afraid to go to church for fear of getting shot up. And for what? Because someone is a different color, a different race, a different religion. Who gives a shit in the end? We all bleed red. And I say this to people all the time when I get in debates with them. Shit's been going on like this for 3,000 years and before that. It'll never stop. We can only try and do what we can to prevent it as much as possible. But there's just way too much division. Way too much division. Our grandparents' generation rolling around their grave. I'm glad they're not here to see any of it. Glad they're not here to see any of it. But again, tonight, sports takes a back seat. I'm continuing to watch the coverage. There's been no updates as far as this person of interest that they have in custody. Kash Patel has come out and said that they have the shooter. Then the governor of Utah came out and said, well, no, there's a person of interest. So you can't even believe either one of those people. Who's telling the truth? And for those of you who have gone on social media and said that they're glad this happened, you're just as fucking sad as the shooter. Just as sad as the shooter. There's a wife to think about that's now a widow, and 2 kids that don't have a father. And again, I'll say, whether you're on the left or on the right, whether you're a conservative or a non-conservative, Democrat or Republican, it's time to start coming to the middle and figuring shit out. Because the more finger pointing you do and the more blame you put on the other, nothing gets done. And we, as U.S. citizens, have the power to let them fucking know that we've had enough of it. I've seen people post on social media, oh, it's Trump's fault. He's the one that incited the riot on January 6th. He incites violence. The mental health part of the equation in this country has gone on long before Donald Trump was in office. Columbine happened way before Donald Trump. I don't hear anybody talking about programs. Hey, in middle schools and elementary schools and even high schools, why don't we have some sort of psychological, like psychiatrists or psychologists in place? So if people are feeling down, or if people are struggling, or they feel like they're being bullied, or to feel like they don't fit in, they can go and talk to somebody. I don't hear everybody talking about that. I hear people talking about, oh, guns, all my. Whether someone is unstable or stable and they can't get a gun, there's ways to get a gun without having the legal ramifications of going through the rigmarole to get a gun. And it won't stop. Again, tomorrow's 9/11. I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting for tomorrow and something to happen. God forbid. I hope it doesn't. But it's time for your representatives in Washington to stop pointing the finger. On the left side of the aisle and the right side of the aisle, it's time that both meet in the middle and get shit done instead of pointing the finger. People's emotions are high. I get it. Don't make any decisions while you're emotional. Take it from somebody who knows. Don't do it. Doesn't get you anywhere. Don't fly off the handle. Because when you get yourself in a situation you're emotional and you get angry, it's a sign of weakness. I'd be interested to see what the motive is. But in the end, does it really matter what the motive is? Somebody's dead. And I'm sure everybody's seen the video as it's posted all over social media. It was fucking horrific. Horrific. People are talking about there should have been better security. And there was a group of students and a group of citizens that did not want him on the campus talking about stuff. He's never had an issue before. That's probably why there wasn't. Because there's probably never been a security issue before. It's supposed to be a friendly back and forth, debating the issues. And again, whether you agreed or disagreed. Shouldn't have happened. Period. So I would challenge you out there. I would encourage you. Write your representative, write your congressman, write your senator, man or woman. Tell them you've had enough. Enough of the bullshit. It's time to get shit done. Again, I don't want to hear people talking about, well, if there's a God, God would not let this happen. Nothing to do with it. He's not doing anything to us, doing it to ourselves. And that's just the bottom line. And you're going to hear all kinds of bullshit rhetoric. Oh, he had it coming for his beliefs, and you can't spew this and you can't spew that. Doesn't deserve this. Didn't deserve it. You want to talk about it in a civil manner, you want to have a debate, that's one thing. That's the way you handle it. But what happened today, and even in Colorado, it accomplishes nothing. It just accomplishes nothing. I'm sad today. I'm sad this happened. I hate it for his family. And if they were to witness it, oh my goodness. Think about his parents. No parent should ever have to bury a child. Just makes your heart hurt. It makes me sick. But enough is enough. You, the voter, put these people in office, and you have the right to get down to the nitty gritty. There's a lot of people in Washington, D.C., think you and I are idiots. They think we're buffoons. They they feel like we don't give a shit. And that's the attitude that they take. Most of the voters out there, they don't care. They don't care about the issues. They could care less. Yeah, this is an opportunity for you to let them know that's not the case. Isn't it time that you say enough of shoving a red hot poker up our asses as voters? We're not above the law, and they shouldn't be either. I know people will say that's not the way it works. You have a voice. Use it. Again, thoughts and prayers out to his family, his friends. It's just bad. It's bad all around. But again, I'll end it with this. You and I have the power. We have the voice. Use it. Don't think that your voice doesn't matter, because it does. It really does. One voice can make a difference. And again, whether you agree with him or not, his voice and what he did for the MAGA movement, you can't deny it. I'll give credit to where credit is due, whether you agree with it or not. I'm not going to play an outro music. Again, just a somber day. Tomorrow's 9/11. It's going to be another somber ass day. You're almost 25 years out from September 11th. It's enough. Again, practice compassion, practice empathy, have passion for what you do. And I'll always say it. Hug somebody today. You might make their day. Tell somebody you love them. You might not get a second chance. And for God's sakes, in lieu of what's been going on, if you see somebody struggling or you see somebody having it rough, ask questions, inquire what's bothering them, getting them help. You might not just be saving a life, you might be saving a lot of lives. So I will see everybody tomorrow on another edition of Early Evening Sports Buffet with the Ginch. I will get into sports tomorrow. Stay safe out there. I'll see everybody tomorrow.